Guess who's back? Well, me, obviously, like you can see me. I missed you guys, and I know Spiky took good care of you. Well, in case you just tuned in, this is JoyNews Interactive here on the JoyNews channel on DSTV 421, GoTV 144, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are on YouTube. Also, we are JoyNews on TV. I am Apita Sibidi, and we have an exciting show coming up, so stick and stay. Last week by this time, some people were sweating groundnut soup. Hey, elections 2020, not be small things where they happen, no. But you know, enough about elections, because Christmas is around the corner and you know, I need to get my shada ready. So I called my designer, right? And I told her I wanted some skirts and blouse. And she wanted to charge me 300 minus my own cloth. Like, so I'm inquiring like, why skirts and blouse? And she's like, it's in the trend, so Chale, she needs to make use of it. Then I realized, yeah, it's true. Ghana voted skirts and blouse. Lately, people have ditched straight dress. They vote for a different presidential candidate and a different parliamentary candidate. This is certainly a high level of sophistication. Mr. MP, if you treat them well, they will vote for you. If not, out you go. Now, I hear there are many reasons why people vote skirts and blouse, but we want to know your thoughts on this. Let's go to Facebook and see what you guys had to say. Well, this one is from Okai Asari, who says, it's a wake-up call for all parliamentarians being elected and those that exit. So next time, they will work diligently in positive ways to ensure that they win. We're waiting for them again in 2024. Nanani says, it's very good, Pa. It serves the government right. And Francis says, people vote based on development. So when your MP is not development focused, but the presidential candidate does, then you have to vote skirts and blouse. Nanayao says, bad practice, but sometimes very necessary. And Peter Wogba says, voting is expected to be dynamic. This heavy attachment to political parties is actually doing this country no good. Let's encourage skirts and blouse voting so the politician will learn to respect the citizens when given the opportunity to rule. The winner takes all system is bad for our development. Jerry Kofi Ampa says, that has to do with the floating voters. No true supporter would do such. It also serves as advice to those serving anonymous duties, hiding behind the government. Abdullah says, the skirt and blouse this year is too much. That is to tell how results of presidentials have been inflated. I can't imagine a total number of 80,000 can be casted for presidentials and total parliamentary votes will be around 50,000. Where are the remaining 30,000? Were the voters rejected or the 30,000 people didn't vote parliamentary? Something is not okay. This one is from Michael Dai, who says, good lessons for the political parties that they shouldn't take the voters for granted. And Parkwesi Baumia says, we want both parties to work together. Simple. All right, so we have some guests joining us via Zoom, and we're going to talk about the skirts and blouse. We're also going to talk about the defeat of some of the MPs. You know, some constituents were saying that, yeah, we didn't vote for someone because, I mean, he wasn't attending our naming ceremonies, our funerals, and our weddings. So we want to discuss this. Is it the right way to go about it? Do you think it's a proper reason? Let's go to Zoom and see who is joining us. Hi, guys. Do we have Daniel? Do we have Julius? Okay, we have a beautiful lady with us. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Baba Houghton, and I'm a graduate from the Political Science Department, University of Ghana.
All right, so we have Barbara. Do we have anybody else? Okay, so right now it's Barbara. Okay, I see someone.
Yeah.
Do we have Julius? Do we have Daniel?
Yeah.
Julius.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right, cool. So we have Barbara and Julius right now. And it looks like Daniel is joining us. Okay, so let's start with the skirt and blouse trend. Barbara, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts on this and what's your takeaway from election 2020?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. So the name is Baba and not Barbara.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Baba.
Yes, that's okay. What I think about the skirt and blouse is that I think if Ghanaians are choosing accountability over affiliation, in the sense that it doesn't make sense you keep voting along political lines when you're not getting nothing from your leaders. So it's time people have come to appreciate that it's necessary that you choose somebody who is capable instead of voting because yes, I'm MPP or yes, I'm NDC. And so no matter who's going to be on the ballot paper, I'm going to choose this person. If skirt and blouse wasn't something that could be, I don't think we would have two separate sheets for parliamentary and presidential. So the fact that there are two separate ballot papers for the election tells you that, yes, you can vote here and vote for the other party on the two different positions. Yes, that's what I.
Okay, so Anthony, what about you?
Yeah, I think the skirt and blouse situation has to do with a lot of factors. One factor due to the party's own primaries ahead of the election. There were some candidates who were dissatisfied with the outcome of the primaries. They felt like they were mafiaed and all manner of issues. And those issues are true. Some people brought candidates and imposed them on the constituents and all those situations. And you realize that those candidates end up losing the election. Another factor is also that some candidates who were ministers were not visibly in their constituencies. If you listen to constituents of Anthony Cabo, for example, you hear them saying that he was solely busy in Accra doing his road stuff and all that, and never paid attention to his constituency. He ended up losing that seat. Another factor is also due to the fact that most of the candidates, especially the ones who were ministers, you see tourism minister also losing her Prestia seat and all that, were riding on the popularity of the presidential candidate, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
So you will see a situation where the constituents are dissatisfied with the performance of their MPs, but are satisfied with the presidential candidate. So they go ahead and endorse the president, but disapprove of the parliamentary candidates. So we have that situation running out throughout the election process. That's why we saw the heavy skirt and blouse situation in the election.
All right. You spoke about dissatisfaction. And for example, if you go to Lejokuku, they said they didn't vote for Okoboy because, I mean, he wasn't attending the funerals, he wasn't attending the naming ceremonies and the weddings, etc. I'm going to ask Daniel, if Daniel is still with us, do you think this is a good enough reason for not voting for an MP? Do we have Daniel? Okay, it seems like we've lost that. Daniel, can you hear me? No. Okay, so Daniel is gone. But since you were on that tangent, Julius, do you think it's a good enough reason for them to say that, no, we won't vote for you because you didn't attend our wedding ceremonies and naming ceremonies?
You see, I don't think it's a good enough reason. The job of the member of parliament is in parliament.
Okay.
And constituents should be able to come to terms with that reality.
Yeah.
However, the candidate also must understand the nature of his constituents. For example, there are some people who were dissatisfied with Dr. Okoboy simply because of his arrest of some Ghana chiefs and their followers who were having some traditional Homowa festive activities during the COVID period. people were much offended by that. And some people voted against him just for that reason, for the arrest of some Ghana chiefs during the Homo Festival. So I think Dr. Boy did very well, especially in terms of his lobbying to the constituency and all. But I think he failed to understand the nature of his constituency, because to stay in parliament, the people must endorse you. And if they want you to do certain things for them to maintain that status, you would have to comply and make those, compromises. But the arrest of the people during the Homo contributed largely to his loss. Because even if you look at the results, from 2012 down up to 2020, Okoboy performed better than most of the candidates, even in the year that he has lost the election in 2020. Because if you look at the result from 2012, that's Benita Sena Okiti-Dua, she had 53%. But in her re-election bid against Okoboy in 2016, Okoboy beat her to it by 50.8%. That is, it's a very good feat on the side of Okoboy, because we have not seen that kind of performance in Lejikuku before. And even in the year that he lost to Bernard Ayiku, he had over 48%, when Bernard had 50.48%. And it was a very high turnout. He had over 55,000 people voting for him. So I think he should have really understood his constituents and met their expectations, especially during the Homo festivities, and he would have been the first person to win the constituency twice.
Do you think it's a good enough reason to not vote for your MP?
No, I don't think it's a good enough reason. But
I'll come to you right now, Anthony. I just want to hear from Baba.
Okay.
Yeah. Baba, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you. So do you think it's a good enough reason for not electing or re-electing the MP? Okay, so all right, so Baba, we're having a difficulty with your connection. In the meantime, let's go to Facebook. Baba, we're having difficulty with your connection. So we're having a difficulty with Baba's connection, but we'll be back on Zoom. Don't go anywhere. We asked you on Facebook which MP's defeat was the most surprising for you, and this is what you guys had to say. So on Facebook, we posted that question. Joseph Wilson Jr. says Titus Glover, Okoboy, and Barbara Oting. Okay. Wow. Okay, we have Sylvester Asari and Dut Osaku saying Dr. Bernard Okoboy, and Frank saying Anthony Cabo. Okay, so far we've got about 3 saying Okoboy was quite shocking for them. Amma Elijah says Dr. Okoboy's defeat was expected because he did little to help all health workers to get their 50%. Okay. Mustafa Adjusi says Dr. Okoboy, sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until we lose them. The people will regret for not taking that decision. Okay. We've got Asiadu Jr. saying Okoboy because he failed to attend naming ceremonies in his constituency. I'm still wondering why they did that to them. And Idrisi says Honorable Lawyer Joseph Kempa, Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice. And Sam Wan says Bono East Regional Minister, Honorable Amwaka Hini. And Lily Will says Okoboy, obviously it's a shame that people cannot give any sensible reason for voting against him. They'll soon start looking for him but won't find him. I think sensible is a relative word, you know. What is sensible to you I don't think sensible is the right word to use. But let's see if we got more comments coming. Okay. Tamim says none of them. Ghanaians are wising up each and every day, and you'll be shown the exit if you misperform when elected MP or president. Okay, our Joel Hart says the parliamentary seat is not for some selected people. Some must pave their way for others to also have the opportunity. If all of them lost cry, I'll be glad. And Vandal Papi says Okoboy was on the run to become the first Ga president in the Fourth Republic, but his own people let him down on the grounds of he doesn't attend social functions. I am shocked. And Kobana Wusu Harrison says Deputy Minister of Health, Bernard Okoroboy. All right, let's go back to Zoom and see if we can get Daniel, Julius, and Baba to give us the last reactions of the elections. Do we have Daniel, Baba, Julius, any of them?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we've got, who do we have? Do we have Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony is here.
Okay, so Anthony, give me your overall reaction to the elections. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think everything went well except for the coalition, which came with a lot of frustrations and all that. And then also on the parliamentary issue, I was surprised at the results of Kratchi East more than I am even for Lejikuku constituency. You know, for Kratchi East, I was thinking Michael Yaojatu was going to retain that seat for the MPP because of the creation of the new region and his efforts in making sure that the regional capital and all those things come to Kratchi East. And you know, regional capital means that you'll be getting regional hospitals, regional ambulance service, regional almost everything. Yeah. But the people bypassed all this and still voted against him in this election. And that was my biggest surprise, even more than Okoboy. All
right. Baba, since we have you, I hope we have you, your overall reactions to the 2020 elections. When it comes to skirts and blouse, when it comes to the defeat of some MPs.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So particularly, I'm excited about how things turned out. I think it's going to kind of push or compel our MPs to work harder, because if you know that people are not going to look at the fact that you are MPP and this is an MPP stronghold, so you are going to remain in power in the next elections, you are obviously going to do better, and that is what we need. So it's a good thing if people are going to vote based on accountability either than party lines or affiliation. So we should keep up with this, and I think that it's a good thing for development.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Baba. Thank you so much, Anthony. Unfortunately, Julius couldn't, Daniel couldn't join us. Hopefully you guys will join us another time. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you too.
All right, cool. So on that note, we're going to take a quick breather. We'll be back with more. You're welcome back from the breather. You're still watching JoyNews Interactive with myself, Mabisa Sibidi. Now, still on election-related issues, NDC has rejected the election results citing electoral fraud. So we've been asking you because we want to know your opinions. How do you want the NDC to deal with this situation? You've been giving us solutions, or while the NDC solutions on Twitter. Let's check out those comments. Well, Peter Edu says, go to court. They will not win, but at least we'll get some reforms which will guide our future elections. Sam Akam says, let them go to court and show the evidence. Maybe the judges will agree with them. And this one is from Desire, who says the EC kept giving inconsistent figures. Everyone in they, which is NDC shoes, would suspect fraud. They should go to court and refrain from inciting the populace from any form of violence. And Kweku_King says, as a citizen of this country with no political affiliation, I would say the EC performance on this ended election was okay, but to the point where they came back changing figures is where they got it all wrong. The NDC has a case there. Benjamin Warren says the NDC not helping this country with their street protest. If there's evidence, they can take it to court or bring it to the general public. Or they can't go to court because they said any idiot can go to court in 2012. #karma. This one is from Compare, who says there's no evidence of any electoral fraud. The NDC is just beating war drums. And Romeo says they should pursue the case at the Supreme Court for judgment to be made. Sam says, I support the call for the NDC to challenge the election results at the apex courts if they feel cheated rather than inciting violence. National interest must win at all times. God bless our homeland, Ghana. The Villager, a society governed by organized greed will always defeat disorganized democracy. Okay, reform election results, coalition methods, diversion of electoral documents, partisanship by electoral officials, and okay.